Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Much, not much. Found this new game that looks like Sonic if it was fun.
Dude, I divided by zero last night, dude. The universe almost ended.
Oh no, it's that bad.
Yeah, yeah. Um, my team is made up of, yeah, I might have told you before, people from the US and people from India.
Yeah.
And the people in India, most of them are quality assurance people. So they just like run a bunch of tests to make sure your code is good. So I woke up today, it's like, hey, you're dividing by zero. We're getting these errors. I was like, damn it. I haven't had my coffee yet. WTF. Bro, they start at like midnight, bro. Like our time. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. What time is it in India right now? Time in India. Those guys are so smart, man. Yeah, it's like almost 10 o'clock at night. Their time. India Standard Time. New Delhi. Yeah. Oh, nice. Bro, I'm always super nervous when there's a code change like that going into, because they always schedule like extra time, right? Like it doesn't take that long. Maybe it'll take like 30 minutes actual time, but like you have to schedule 2 or 3 hours just in case things go wrong. Right? I mean, you've seen that. Net worth. It's always a nervous thing. So our software it's called a microservice architecture. Instead of having like one gigantic program that does everything, you end up breaking the code into like smaller pieces, and you have teams manage like the smaller functions. And it's it's harder to, it's more chaotic, but you're able to split the code to work on it separately. And these code need to be ran on computers, and they need to be ran on a bunch of computers, right? So you end up having like hundreds of computers running this code, all behaving as a single service. So you're kind of spreading yourself wide, and I think that's how PoE is. Is that's how modern software kind of works, and I think that's how PoE, at least, yeah, that's how PoE is arranged. So the weakness of that is you have to have those computers separate in the world, because if it's in the West Coast or the East Coast, and freaking Hurricane Ivan or yeah, it's somebody's first name, but you know what I'm saying? Like Hurricane Ivan comes and like knocks all the power out. You want PoE to still be running. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I played Sonic 2 as a kid. And then the console broke. Oh yeah, I'm just letting you know I'm working right now, so I can only chat. Can't look at things. Just a heads up. Just additional information. Yeah. There's a strange phenomena I've been noticing for the last 10 years. This is related to the game. It's strange because I remember as a kid growing up, and maybe in my teens as well, a lot of art, literature, games, all of that, they were based off of original ideas. But I think with the popularization with the internet getting so popular and everybody's tapped in, I think inspiration now like becomes the internet, like a lot of it. So we like inspire each other and we're in this constant state of fighting each other's shit. That makes sense. Do you feel that way? Like it feels like everybody's just borrowing each other's ideas and not even like actively like noticing it. It's just subconscious, you know? There's 8 billion of us, dude. Get with the times. Yeah, we had an 8 billionth baby celebration. Yeah, welcome to the world. 8 billionth baby. Planet Earth. I think it's not bad. I think the breaking point is maybe 11 billion for human population. I think that's the equilibrium. It'll balance itself out. Dude, the Earth is gonna be here longer than us. Let's be real. It's survived. Dude, if water, like if temperature goes up by like 4 or 5 degrees, we're all doomed. So I think we're okay. It's hard to make sense though. It's kind of hard to make sense of the whole thing. Like, I do believe some of that is fear mongering, just because it captures your attention, and your attention is the premier currency in the world right now. But I'm sure there's some real stuff going on. I mean, I was, like we talked about it before, I was in North Pole, I saw the ice getting thin. So, I seen it. Local PNR does not exist in context. Decimal. Did you know computers are very bad at dividing? Well, the dividing by zero thing is just a math limitation. It approaches infinity. But yeah, computers are just really silly. Like if you take 10 divided by 3 and then multiply it by 10, or sorry, 10 divided by 3, and then you take that answer and multiply by 3, you'll get a different answer. You won't get 10. Oh yeah, that is. Yeah. Mm. You're at the house?
Yeah.
You're at the casa?
Oh yeah. I'm just ready for it. We decided what you want to build as.
Oh yeah, I was considering Venom Geyer. Um, yeah, you can do Claw and Dagger, right, with it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I don't. Seems like Claw can sustain pretty well with the hit stuff. I don't know. I've never played Dagger. Is that fun too?
Daggers are harder
To gear?
yeah, it doesn't have a lot of the good stuff.
It's more limited. Because
Like
you can put on 2 claws, right?
Yeah.
I guess you can put on 2 daggers. Alright, I think my bug fix is good to go. Just don't yell at me. Yeah, as a kid, do you remember getting your parents yelling at you a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine did as well. So like it's traumatized me until adulthood. Because now it's like, okay, as long as I don't get yelled at, I'm good. So I'm always expecting my boss to yell at me for something, which he's never done, but it's always in the back of my head. Just don't get yelled at, man. Like some people are like, okay, if I can go through life and not get stabbed, I'm good to go. For me, it's like, just don't get yelled at. Yeah. Let's push this.
Oh my god.
Venom Geyer is good, right?
Not
Can I
the-
kill Uber bosses with it?
Probably not.
You don't think it can scale?
I don't know how the Evolve version works, but in regular Venom Geyer, it's just very hard to scale into like harder stuff.
Really?
Most people go poison.
Yeah, poison. Yeah. Hold up. One YouTube personality that I follow had a pretty sick build. I gotta send it to you, see if it history makes sense. He's saying that it scales endgame quite well, but I'll give you the video and the POV.
Who said that?
Oh, this dude I trust, Kobe Black Mamba on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's Mamba.
He's legit though. He's like
Yeah,
too good.
Yeah, he is. Let me rephrase. It used to be bad. I don't know how it is right now, but for like if it got buffed, see.
Well, it did get buffed, but I don't know. I've never played the skill, so I don't have a baseline.
And it got its Evolve version now. So it got buffed this week, but it used to not be that good.
So, Vol just doesn't work super. Like, it's not reliable in boss fights as the souls you need to recharge.
There is like dealing damage to the boss. It gives you souls back, but it's just not a lot. So you might be able to use Vol every once in a while.
Right. Yeah, so he.
But there is like flasks and stuff that recharge your skills. But it's a flask, so you lose a flask. Trying to go that route.
Yeah, so his min-max build, at least the top his min max build does 36 million DPS. So that's probably super expensive, but substantial.
Oh yeah.
But his regular um build without the min max is about 2.7 million. Is that enough to kill some of that late game?
You aren't gonna be able to do like Uber bosses, but you'll be fine in the regular pinnacle bosses.
What's the DPS threshold for Uber? Do I need like 5?
I'm
10.
like 10.
Dang.
Either
10.
that or be really good at mechanics. Because the Uber versions of those bosses are insane.
Oh, they just do more things, or is it just more damage?
Both.
Okay, they do more things.
Like Uber Cyrus, he makes 5 more clones of him. So you have to fight against 5 Cyruses. Like he makes 5 more clones of himself.
Do they do damage, or are they just there to juke
Oh
you?
yeah, they deal damage.
Oh. It's not like it's like Naruto and his shadow clones.
Oh, if only. They only got the first. Someone finally beat Uber Cyrus like 1 or 2 days ago.
Oh, so it's a huge, like, it's really hard. But you said there's Uber, right? There's like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
the final boss.
Like, there's the regular pinnacle bosses, and then they have an Uber version you can opt into in the Atlas, and people call them Uber, because there's Uber Elder, which is both Paper and Elder. Some people
Yeah.
just call it Uber Elder, and that's where it came from. So not everyone calls them that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about, Uber Cyrus.
Okay. But like, you get 36 million DPS. That should be no problem. I'm trying to fight some of those guys. Maybe that's a goal. Is to fight those guys.
I really want to do Uber Cyrus.
I still owe you Osiris. We still need to beat him.
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
we can take
definitely.
the Uber version together.
The problem is that he does a ton of chaos damage. That almost always don't have chaos.
Same.
Except
Yeah.
maybe this league. My main build that I'm thinking for my second character is gonna be Shield Crush. Doug. And it has like 36 million DPS. And like 800,000 EHP. It's insane.
So I'm looking at his Venom Gyre link right now. He is using Venom Gyre is a Chaos or Fizz to Chaos projectile attack, but he's using Elemental Awaken Elemental damage with attacks.
Oh, he's doing Trinity instead.
And yeah, Divergent Inspiration.
He's using Trinity.
Yep, he's using Trinity. Nightblade.
Oh, that's why.
I don't know what that. So Nightblade just makes the attack side stronger.
That's why people went to Claws so many builds to abuse Nightblade.
Supports claws or daggers.
Because it gives you elusive, which increases your movement speed and crit chance and multi. It's like stealth, pretty much, in other games. And it used to be where you could use elusive step to keep your stacks of elusive. But
Yep, yep.
this week they nerfed it.
Berserk Blood Rage. Okay. See what's going on here.
How is he getting berserk uptime? What?
It's gotta be an item.
What character? What class?
It's Deadeye, something that doesn't have it normally.
Is he using like chains of emancipation? Or
Well, let's see where he gets the Berserk from. Let's check his gloves.
oh, it could be the calm gloves.
Yeah, it's some implicit that gives him 1 rage on hit.
Oh, it's on one of the items. What is it called?
It's rage, right? Like
Yeah.
Berserk uses rage. Yeah, it's a glove. It's just a rare glove with an implicit. To have,
You don't get rage that fast. That's some inflated numbers. You use
rage on hit with attacks no more than 0.7 seconds.
Yeah, you can't use berserk for that.
He doesn't gain it fast enough.
No, berserk doubles its rage eating every few seconds.
Okay, let's see.
You might only use it like once a map on the boss, or never on a single boss.
Well, we are gonna see.
That's an inflated number. Turn off berserk, see how much damage it is.
Okay, let's see. Berserk, let's disable it. Okay, Berserk. Yeah, let's disable it. Boom. You looking at combined DPS?
Yeah.
It's 24 million, so still pretty.
Oh yeah, he lost 10 million for something not gonna be able to get. Look around for anything else that might not be able to get. Like if he's using power charges when there's no way to get them. Or frenzy charges. That's what people usually do on builds. Inflate the numbers.
Well, this is a min-max build, so maybe there's like some interaction with the millions of items he has.
Yeah, but if you don't find anything, then
yeah, I'm not.
They're just inflating.
I'm not gonna look through all of that right now.
But yeah, 1 rage every 0.7 seconds. That's nothing.
He probably has multiple sources.
It's hard to get rage like that. If you're not using any unique items that give rage.
It's a min-max PoE.
Yeah,
so
but
this is with perfect items.
Even then,
that's the whole point.
If he's a ranger and not what is it? Marauder. There's no other way to get rage than the unique items.
Well, I sent you the link. You can go investigate.
Yeah, I will.
Because you're doubting it, so you should definitely look into it.
Yep. Because I used to, well, not used to, but I was playing Void Forge, Cyclone, not Cyclone, Blade Vortex. And it needed a ton of rage to increase. And I had to get like 3 different ways of donating rage. Rage support, the chain breaker, which is the main way of getting it. Turns my mana regen into rage regen. Let's. I mean, he's using Mage's Blood, Omni, and these are some crazy, crazy corruptions.
Yeah, bro. That's the whole. Yeah, that's this isn't a realistic like thing. He was just demonstrating the top. Like if you get perfect everything.
Yeah, I'm
So
looking. It's
I'll be happy if I
crazy.
get over 5 million. I
Where's the
just want to
fight?
maybe take down some bosses.
You can't use some of the stuff anymore.
What stuff?
Mantra of Flames is getting deleted. 3.20. Can't get it anymore. And that's like 2 billion damage off the build.
What build?
The one
What item?
the Mantra of Flames gives you fire damage per buff on you.
Is it a jewel? What is it?
Yeah, it's a jewel.
Mantra of Flames. Okay, yeah, it just gives um just a bunch of fire attack damage, flat damage.
Oh yeah. People used to use it with the bone what is it called? The bone shatter. And each stack of trauma counts as a buff to them. So they would stack a ton of trauma with bone shatter and go into delve and go super deep and do like billions of damage with Mantra of Flames. There are people complaining in the Discord because Mantra of Flames is being deleted. Like saying, I can't go deep anymore. And from what I'm seeing, there's no way he's getting enough rage to proc Berserk. Even once.
Rage doesn't disappear, right? Like it just keeps
Yeah.
until you use it.
Yeah, but
So,
Berserk eats all of it. And you're probably not going to use Berserk more than once a map, if only.
maybe for bossing that'd be a different story because you're just there chilling, hitting. So maybe you turn it on. I don't know how long it lasts, how quickly it drains.
So it starts eating like 5 raids a second. And then every few seconds after, let me actually look at the skill. I can give you an actual number.
Does cooldown reduction reduce this
No.
0.7?
It loses 5 raids a second. And each second it eats 20% more rage second. And he's only getting next to 1 rage second. So you're only ever gonna use it once map if you get that much. While Berserk is super good, hard to get that much rage. Unless you're using something like Chains of Emancipation. Chains of Emancipation inflicts you with
I feel
temporal
like with
chains.
36 million, you should be able to burn through a boss pretty quickly, right? I don't know how
Yeah,
much
unless
HP.
you're doing the Uber version. 36 million is 20 million more damage than needed, but those are like
Yeah.
perfect items.
Yep.
Triple
Yep.
implicit Omni, double implicit Mage's Blood, 5 flasks, Berserk on. That's crazy.
The double implicit Mage Blood, they have cards for that release.
Yeah, and it's going to be tier 0.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be, I don't know, two and a half times more rare than the regular Mage Blood cards.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
But it's not even going to be worth it though. People are just going to sell those cards instead of using them to get a Mage Blood.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at min max, you probably have a Mage Blood already.
So the thing about Mage Blood is it either gives you either 2 flasks up to 5. So it doesn't actually give you the. It doesn't give you all 5 flasks for free.
Yeah. Yeah, I know how Mage Blood works.
I know, but if it's corrupted, then you can't divine it to get more. So
yeah, so I would imagine if you're chasing a min-max part of your build, right, you have all the base items, and you're just min-maxing each item one at a time. So you already have a Mage Blood before Saki's in it. And if you do get all the collection of cards, and this is not realistic, right? This is just...
Yeah, there's no way.
No way. Like, I guess you're just making you're just trading a bunch of divination cards and seeing if you can get the 4 socket, whatever, right? Like, this is not realistic. Maybe not even, like, within a year.
Yeah, in no way.
But
even if you had, like, infinite money, it'd be hard to get anything like that.
Because people gotta find these cards.
And not even that, just getting good implicits from the cards. That's way too much luck. Needed. And you know the worst part about it? You saw how I was doing work earlier with my standard build, right?
I'm trying to set a DM. Alright, yeah. I had to send a message to my lead. Yeah, she was working like late last night. She asked me a question which I didn't have the answer to. I love it too. She's always super fast to respond. Everybody else is slacking.
Oh, patching is up.
What time is the league?
It's 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Your time?
My
Whose
time, yeah.
Okay, so I'm an hour behind you.
Patching is up, by the way, if you haven't already started to download.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I need to get this bug fixed in. Yeah, I have to get work done before playing, or else I just get guilty feelings in my brain, and it won't shut the hell up until at least I need to make some like forward progress where I can feel comfortable playing.
Yeah, I can do that.
Because it sucks, dude. Like, when I was in the military, I've seen people who were dirtbags, like, didn't get anything done, and they still were able to, because the military has you for, you know, whatever the duration of your contract is, 4, 5, 6 years, whatever. But, you know, they're going to reassign you to like a really shitty position as punishment, but they won't fire you unless you, like, do drugs, you know, do some scandalous stuff. They're not gonna let you go. So there's some security there. But out here, bro, out here in the real world, it is not secure, man. I know there's a few jobs that are fairly secure. Teachers, I think nursing as well, right? And these are, as a matter of fact, I think the trend is going up. At least that's what my sister tells me. She's trying to be a nurse. But yeah, dude, just afraid of getting fired.
I can see that, yeah. Or I can see why.
Typically, I'm not afraid of getting fired because I know there's quite a bit of opportunity that I can go to. Like, I can go back to the nuclear power plants, and bro, they're paying like $250,000 a year, and that's an absurd amount of money.
Oh yeah,
like $250,000 a year. It's absurd. But the job sucks, and you're away from family for weeks at a time. But it's just the way the economy in the world right now is behaving. The world's money flow is slowing down, so companies are getting less money coming in. So they're downsizing and letting people go. So I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, they were letting, I think, 5,000 people go here at this company I'm working at. 5,000.
oh,
Or sorry, 3,000. I'm tripping. And that's out of, I think, 15,000 people in the company. So it's about 3.
hopefully something will change. They released the Atlas tree, by the way, so we can see the new thing.
Yeah. I think I've done all of the... Well, except for this new league mechanic. I think I've done everything except for the excavation or expedition. Have you done those?
Expedition, yeah. But
How do you make money?
It usually makes costs a lot to get returns.
You're also limited by the non-tradable resources, right?
Yeah.
How do you make money though? You get logbooks.
You run logbooks over and over, and as long as they're Black Scythe, which is Tujin, he's one of the NPCs, and he sells currency.
Yeah.
So you just keep re-rolling his shop, and then you'll find like divines every once in a while. So you just run them as hard as you can get it. Like you put in as much as you can afford to put in. Like difficulty wise.
Some people are gambling.
That's pretty much. Oh, you're talking with.
You're making money trying to gamble as well.
Yep. Caught with the. I don't remember her name. But it's the woman. That works too, but it's way more like luck based.
Yeah. Yeah, Alright, let's make some damn holy plus. Yeah, so the job market, I was just trying to say, for like these positions, because software developers or engineers are super expensive, bro. The demand for us, like, is ridiculously high. So, like, for a company to hire somebody like me, they're like, okay, he's at least $125,000 a year. How many of these can we have? Like, if you, like, people, probably the developers for PoE, dude, is super expensive.
I mean, it is a live's favorite game, so
Yeah,
they can't afford to just turn it off and fix stuff.
You know, what if the game was like mostly offline and you connect to the internet like once in a while? I guess you can just hack it.
I mean, everything's on the servers anyway for PoE, and like there's a ton. Though it would be like easy to reduce the like lag factor in the game if it was offline. But they'll definitely find some way to screw it up, like the you know they'll find a way.
Screw what up?
To like cheat in the game.
The cheat? What's that?
In PoE, I mean.
Oh.
If it was offline.
Yeah.
So I'm not making sense when I'm talking because of this stuff happening in the game. It's like super fast paced.
Mm-hmm. Have you thought about anything you want to do outside of gaming? Any fun things? Any? I know, like, given the circumstances, but I think there is quite a bit of things that are still within your control that you can do, explore.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, we just got to get creative and then figure out.
It's, I don't actually know what I want right now. I think that's the problem.
No, you're absolutely correct. No, that's absolutely the standard right now.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to commit to something I'm not gonna want to keep doing for them.
Well, that's where I think that's a misconception as well for younger folks is that they believe that they have to make a decision that's going to affect the rest of their life. When the most important thing is to understand that you are going to be making this decision multiple times in your life, and that this is not a permanent thing. Like the decision isn't permanent. It just seems like the school system, you know, treats failure and making the wrong decisions very badly, right?
Oh yeah.
Like my senior year, dude, I do well in class except for this one class, and it was government, and I almost didn't graduate, even though I had like good grades everywhere else, because I didn't come to class for government, and almost failed that class. But like, the school system is not very good because you can't win all the time. You have to fail. It's what you do when you fail that is really important.
And it doesn't help, like, how,
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? It doesn't help that it actually teach you stuff. It only teaches you how to remember.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Very true. In college is not even an exception to that. It is literally memorize, exam, quiz, homework. Exam, quiz, homework is just repeating that for 4 years. And then you just you just forget everything, dump everything that you don't use.
Like, it sucks. Wasting 10 years of my life, 12 years of my life for something that you're just gonna forget as soon as you leave.
But going back to the failing thing, I know like high school has been they treat you to stay away from failing, like the plague, right? Like stay away from it, and the moment you fail, it's game over. Your character died in hardcore, equivalent, which isn't the case. It seems the most development in a person is when they fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my sister is Lillian. She's a year. You're 19, 20?
Yeah, like
Okay, you're 19. Okay, my sister is 21. She's a couple years older than me. And that was something that my parents never emphasized because they're too busy working and yelling at us to actually teach us useful things. And I try to mentor her, and yeah, I'd like to mentor you too. If you just give you some answers, maybe you need to make your own decisions. I know that when I was a kid, I could have used somebody to at least give me some options and explore. And it's kind of hard to figure these things out on my own. But like, yeah, my sister ran into the same issue too. Like right after high school, the parents never really. Maybe they'll ask like, "Hey, what do you want to do after high school?" But they never really followed it, and they never like watered the plants, so to speak, to help grow and build confidence to chase after those ideas and goals. So my sister, didn't do the necessary things to set her up for college. So I really had to hammer it down to her and kind of help her because even though grades matter and high school, it, there's a monetary thing attached to grades in college, and they'll fail you. Oh yeah, they'll fail you.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, there's no go to your counselor and let's work it out. No, they'll fail your ass.
Because now you're paying to get
and my sister was in the same boat as you, where she just graduated high school, haven't really explored these questions thoroughly and really thought about it, because it's a type of question that you need to think about over a long period of time and kind of entertain certain options, right?
Yeah.
You can't be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, and then pop the question. That's and expect an answer, because that's usually how it turns out to be when your parents kind of ask you what you want to do, which is like 1, 2, 3 pop quiz.
Like, how the hell would I know?
Right. But if it's something that's asked regularly, at least you kind of have it in your brain, and maybe eventually you start thinking about it and seeing the world differently. Not as a place, but like also a place where you could be a member in different parts. Because I think it'll make you feel good, man. I think having that question answered and figuring that stuff out will make you feel real good. And I'm all about people feeling real good, because the world is a lot better place when everybody feels good, is secure, making decent money, doing something that even if they don't love it, it's something they're willing to put up. And you're in a good position. Because the worst situation is you don't think about that, and then you run into issues later on because you haven't thought about it. Because those types of questions don't go away.
Like,
they don't go away.
I really don't know.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Like the future.
But what do you do when you don't know?
Think about it.
Because it doesn't go away, and it's not. This is a different type of a class of questions and problems too. This is and I've seen this a lot in my own life and my family. So I'm gonna get you into my mind for a second as a procrastinator. Okay, I'm gonna give you an insight into my mind.
I mean, I am.
When I was,
honestly.
but I want you to imagine this and see if you can relate to it. Okay. So I'm in college. I just went to my economics class, and they're like, I'm sitting in class, and they're like, okay, we have quiz Thursday and homework due first thing Friday, because we're gonna have a test on Friday. So there's 3 things for that week for that class, right? The quiz on Thursday, the homework Friday morning that's due, and then the test on Friday, right? But I'm in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, we got 4 days.
Yeah.
You know, I'll probably wake up 6 a.m. on Wednesday, knock that out, quiz out, you know what I mean? Give myself a day to do the homework.
That's how I was like with my my honors project in science and my biology, where we had to make like a new like a hypothetical like new creature and make it like Venus, its family, its all of that. They're like, I'll get it done soon. It's gonna take me too long.
Yeah, sure. So Tuesday rolls around, right? I still got 3 days. So in my head, I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna take care of some other things, and then maybe I'll wake up tomorrow super early, get things done, and then I'll end up doing something else or distracting myself and not wake up on time as I was planning, right? And it's Thursday, and this quiz I gotta take, and that's when I wake up on Thursday and I have like this anxiety because I literally didn't do anything Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and all 3 of these things are due today and tomorrow, right? So that anxiety all of a sudden goes into my brain and says, hey dude, wake the F up, time to get shit done, right? And then I kick into overgear, like I'm in 6th gear now and just crushing everything, and then just getting by to that quiz or that exam. You think I did well that exam?
Probably not.
I did alright. But I could have gotten better, right? Because if I had maybe a couple more days to let the stuff sink in, a little bit more practice, I probably would have gotten better grades. Alright. But you see how the anxiety on Thursday was the trigger for me to get it actually done because it's survival all of a sudden? Right? You can see that, right?
Yeah.
You can relate to that. So that is the motivator to do a lot of things for a lot of people. But in life, there are things that don't have due dates, that don't have Friday, that don't have Thursday, don't have deadlines. So you never experience that anxiety because you can always put it off. So those type of things can actually go on your entire life without it being addressed. And those problems don't go away too. And they just linger like rotten food. So, did that make sense? Was that a good explanation?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It sucks, trust me. I have to create the anxiety in my head to do things, because if I don't, I'll just push it off and shit will never get done.
I hate it though.
Yeah, dude, it sucks.
The procrastinator in me.
Yeah. And maybe because when I was a kid, I wouldn't do stuff because my mom had to yell at me to do stuff. And then maybe that's...
Like you never want to do something and someone else tells you to do it.
Yeah, because you gotta push back because your parents is trying to override your stuff. Yeah, it's like, hey mom, I'll do it after this math, and your mom is just sick and tired of you telling her that she's like, no, you gotta do it right now, and you're like, mom, I'm actually gonna do it right after this, but I gotta get this done. And then it's like, the only time you actually do it is when you're filled with anxiety. And that's my story. If you can relate, I hope that
Not the same way.
I hope that sheds some light in my psychology. And
No, I'm the same way.
yeah. And these are things I think parents should explain to their kids. But I think a lot of times parents are working and just trying to put food on the table and secure your future. So they don't have time to pass on some of these things. And it's only that when I got older, I was able to help my sister figure out a career. And she's doing nursing and she's kicking ass. So I figured, you've been helping me since with the POE, so I figure I'd help you in other areas I'm strong at. Just helping each other,
Yeah. Except I only really know one thing.
Yeah. But you're 19, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, you're just done with the tutorial. The real game starts now, bro.
The 20 years, I mean the 12 years before.
Yeah, dude. Seriously. It's the tutorial.
Man, where's the skip button?
And I'm just a player who's at least gone through the first part. You can divide the life that you have into fours, probably. The tutorial's the first half. I'm done with the second half. I'm in the third half. So I'm just a little bit a half ahead of you. Or a quarter. I just said 4 halves. It's quarters is what I'm trying to say. Fraction right now. And when you do make your decision, the earlier that you do make it, the more you can start building up stuff to it. If I was to say something to myself when I was 19 or 20, I would tell myself that everything builds on the previous moment, right? Especially, you can see that with PoE, like, each season, you use the stuff that you have from the previous season, all that knowledge, like, hey, essences, that's where the money's at, you know?
Oh.
Or, like, right? So each season, you, like, know how to make money better, you're able to be faster going through the story, you're able to do what you need to do better because you're using what you built in from all the other seasons, and life is like that. And mistakes occur and they do set you back, but that shouldn't discourage you from making mistakes or being inactive at all.
I think
Because
really...
when you make the mistakes, you learn from. Hopefully, you learn from it, and then you're able to not make those mistakes anymore, and then you actually get ahead. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to turn this into a lecture. It's not a lecture.
It's not like
We're just chill homies speaking about life.
I think that the fact that like there's no, I don't know where to go next.
Yeah, I mean, ask me questions. You know, if you ever are exploring that, I'd love to give you some insight. I might not have all the answers, but I can at least figure out where to get the answer or who the right questions to ask.
I think it also, like, I don't know the right questions to ask either. That makes sense at all?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, you don't know what you want, but you also don't know the questions to know what you want.
Exactly.
To get the answer. So it's a catch-22. So there's a barrier, right? To hit and move past, but once you start passing that, it'll start snowballing. You'll start getting momentum. Yeah. And the world revolves around money, unfortunately. It's going to be the driving factor to a lot of things.
Here we tutoring.
Man, imagine you're able to make real money. PoE. That'll be the perfect job.
Just tutoring in PoE. Easy.
For like streaming or something.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean streaming is something that is an option as well. But like,
Yeah, but
in order for you to make money or to get money, you gotta do certain things. You have to do work that people need. You need to sell something of value. or you gotta give people uh, ownership in what you have. Those are the three things. So when it comes to ownership, you don't have much of that yet. But I can imagine in the future you're able to do something like that. Providing a service, right? So I know some people, they like to do real estate, which might be a little difficult. But, you know, do you have any siblings close to your age?
I have one brother that's year younger than me.
Yeah, I mean,
He's working at my dad's store,
okay, yeah.
but I get
Like-
two dads.
You guys get along? You
Yeah.
trust each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's like YouTube can kind of get into like a hustle of some sort, you know? Flipping stuff on Amazon.
That's what they've been talking about.
Dude, that so much money. So much money. Yeah, you could like
But I don't actually know like the legality of that. They're like,
yeah,
they're saying like, I don't know, buy from Alibaba and then flip it on Amazon. I don't think.
Yep.
I don't know the legality of it.
yeah, you can definitely do that. You just got to make sure the legality is you got to pay taxes and you got to register it under as a business. So you got to let the government know that you have a business, that it is a thing, because a business is just it's an organism, if anything. So it's you got to let them know that it's that you have a business, so that they could monitor it and protect it if need to. And if you're making money through that, you got to make sure that you're paying your fair share of taxes,
Hmm.
because the government always wants a slice.
It's why it's been talking about how Bitcoin is the plague and how the scam and to never try it. Earlier.
Yeah. But let's go back to that, because I think that's a cool idea. Because you already know something about it. Like you're saying, Alibaba is a place, which I agree. But Alibaba is the place to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Frying pans. You know what I'm saying? Frying pans, clothes hangers, whatever. Right. So as long as you remember those two things, and maybe do some research between you and your brother, y'all can do some research. What do I need to register for a business? How much money approximately is that paperwork? What type of things that they need to know about us? How old do we need to be? You probably don't need a lawyer until you do something wrong. So I don't think you do.
Wise words to go by.
Lawyers are expensive too. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
Most expensive. Yeah, my partner and I, we were talking to this lawyer for like an hour. He was like, "Yeah, that's $350." We're like, "You didn't even say anything that I didn't know already."
Oh yeah.
So then you'll probably start thinking about, okay, what type of things we want to sell. Right, so maybe what you want to sell is pertinent to what they have available to buy in Alibaba. So maybe the first phase is to make a plan, like look at what stuff do people have over there and what stuff do we need over here.
Alibaba has everything, but whether or not it's real is the problem.
Right. So maybe you should buy a small quantity first before you go all in. Right, and that's what we talk about making mistakes as well, right? Suppose you spend like $1,000 getting like 100 pots. You know what I'm saying? Um, so it's $10 a pot, and then you realize the pot is like crappy, right?
Really?
So the mistake was spending too much money on like something you didn't verify was good. So probably in the future you learn from that mistake, and you're probably going to buy small amounts first to look at it, right?
Oh, yeah. I
So
think it also like makes stuff more complicated is like because I'm handicapped and I was like really young when I became handicapped.
yeah,
I have like I'm getting stuff from the government because of that.
yeah,
Like, 'cause
yeah.
I can't.
You get a stipend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a small stipend as well for hearing.
And the problem with that is like, I don't know. Of course, they're gonna reduce the money I'm getting if I start working. And if it's not gonna be like, if working is gonna give me less money overall, even if like I'm getting next to nothing, it's still gonna reduce the pay significantly.
Yeah, so that's definitely something to consider for sure, and that's something in economics called a ceiling, and a lot of the laws create these ceilings just because they chose a solution that was like that. Um, and go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry, alright. I keep cutting you off.
I was just trailing in thought. You're definitely right, man, and it's not just you. It's like, you know, a lot of people in the United States are getting some type of assistance from the government, and that creates ceilings in various areas. And if you risk it, right, you might end up making less money.
Exactly.
That creates a situation where people don't risk what they have.
And
Right.
like, it almost doesn't, and it also, I mean, doesn't help with, like, the actual numbers they give you. Like, you get this much money per month, and that's all fine. But if you have more than, right now it's 2,000 for 2022. If you have more than 2,000 in your bank at any point, you don't get any for that month
You said more than 2,000 what?
in your bank.
Oh, so if your checking account has more than 2,000, then you don't. They monitor?
Yeah, they monitor.
Ooh.
So you can't have more than 2,000,
Yeah.
and you can't have any like anything worth
Yeah.
money either. Like, I don't know, like a second car that would count. Like
A business would count too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Businesses are kind of tricky too, because they can count as a negative as well. So if you play it right, if the business is a negative, you can still be below the 2,000. Especially if you audit, because the government is super meticulous about money. I hate to say it, they're a bunch of dirtbags when it comes to that.
Like, they don't even want you to spend the money they're giving you.
They do, right? Because if it collects more than 2,000 each month, then they don't give it to you.
Exactly.
So you gotta spend. You gotta spend and keep it below 2,000.
And so that
Yeah.
means I can't save money.
But that's separate than your brother, right?
Yeah, that's separate. But also, if I'm helping in any way and they find out,
Yeah, that's not true. And where it's not true is the way you guys structure the business between you and your brother. If your brother is the sole proprietorship, I think that's what it's called, where he's like the sole owner, you don't have, you don't own anything there. Right, so you guys are still independent, and maybe he seeks guidance from you once in a while. Another one is where you're a limited partner, meaning you guys are both partners, but you're only limited to a certain thing. So what happens for that is if he gets sued for whatever reason, they don't come after you because you only help in certain areas. You're not like a full accountable person in that case. And it sucks too, talking about law, because laws are boring.
But it's nice to know, like, what could
It changes
happen.
too. So you could have a limited partnership with him and still kind of own it, but not have the risk of it. That might work, but each state is different too. So you're in North Carolina.
And thinking about the 2000, that's if, like, getting rid of it completely. They're still gonna they're still gonna reduce the amount I'm getting per month, even under 2,000, if they see that I'm getting some type of income.
So suppose you go out, you take a risk. You know, maybe the first couple months you lost money, so you're below that 2,000. But then you hit once, you know, something worked out, and you're above 2,000. And then the government sees that, and they're like, okay, we're gonna give you less, if any.
Yeah.
The next month, your luck kind of ran out. You're kind of back at square one, below 2,000. Are they gonna give you less money, or is 2,000 gonna continue at that moment?
If they see you have any kind of income, they reduce it until, like, oh, you can't have that income anymore, so it's gonna be back to normal.
So when you lose that income, do you get that 2,000 back, or do you have to like ask them for it again?
If it stays like that for long amounts of time, like 6 months or something,
Yeah.
they might let you back in without having to do it again.
Oh, if it's less than 6 months, like if you
Yeah.
make more. Okay. So if it's more, then maybe you gotta jump through more hoops to get it back.
Oh yeah, you have to like completely restart the
whole process.
program. Yeah, the process. And it takes a whole lot amount of time. It takes a long amount of time to get something like that working again.
Okay. So there's a few things working for you against you in that situation too. Yeah. Not only is the money, you know, a threat of being removed, even if you're making the right moves, which is trying to do better for yourself and your family and your friends, whatever, right? And yeah, it just seems like the rules aren't, you know, giving you the room for you to take the risk to because that's what it is. You can do the same and stay where you're at, or you can take the risk to make things better. And there's a risk to make things worse as well. The thing I will say about risk, because that's my main job at this company, is to create and understand risk. When you're younger, you can take more risks because the amount of time you have, to recover from stuff is higher than suppose when you're at like my age, or like if my mom's age, she can't even take any risks because she's like 58 and she's almost to retirement. So you can imagine, like, she can't work anymore. How much more risk could she take? But everything making sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good conversation too. It's not?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Just want to check in with you, see if conversation's still
I need
good.
to do something IRL.
But it's good that we're talking about it too, right?
Yeah.
Because now you have more information to like work around. Um, but there's a good probability that because $2,000 is, you know, substantial money,
Oh yeah.
especially for 19-year-old.
And
But
that's I'm saying that's the maximum I can have at any one time, not how much they give me per month.
oh, 2,000. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was about to say. I
Yeah,
do.
that's a lot, but that's not what they're giving me. It's like, I don't know, 600, 700. It's supposed to like cover everything.
Whoa, 600?
Yeah, a month. I'm done.
Hmm.
And if I get any, like right now, it's reduced because my dad listed me as a like dependency. So it reduces the amount of money I have right, or I'm getting right now.
Okay.
The government.
So you just gotta need to make more than 600,
Yeah.
and you should be in a better position than you were before. Correct?
Yes.
Dude, we can make that happen so easily. We can make that happen, bro. I thought because the barrier for 2,000 might be a little bit more difficult to start off with something, but 600 isn't too bad. Um, and who knows? You do it, you might actually like it, and that mixed in with other stuff you're already doing, definitely build all the confidence and feel goods feelings in your mind. I think.
That's kind of like my fear with it, with trying to do something else.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to risk losing that money.
600 right now, it might seem like a lot, but it's not. And
Yeah.
if you can imagine, if you're able to bring in more, I'm not sure how your family operates, but mine, like, a lot of my money goes to, goes to my mom. I'll take, because Hawaii's expensive, bro. The cost of living there is quite expensive, especially with the recent inflation.
Oh
So
yeah.
like fuel, food. So I've been helping my mom out with some of the groceries and bills, and she's taking care of my two sisters. So it's trickling out to like other parts of the family, right, to help out. Um, and I'm sure your family's helping you. So having that extra money to kind of help out there to remove stress.
Can I get some water? Sorry, I cut you off.
Water's important. H2O is the best.
My head's starting.
But having extra money to kind of help out with the family, at least for me, alleviated, like removed quite a bit of stress. And that adds to like me feeling good, me feeling better, mentally stronger. It helped with that. And my family's in a good place, so we're always having good conversations. And it's less negative because it seems like when families get stressed out, I think that people in general just start thinking about more negative things than positive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to have more positive thoughts and conversations and interactions. But yeah, if you can make more than 600, if you can make 1,000 a month, 2,000 a month, how do you feel about that?
That I wouldn't need to depend on that.
You'd be self-sufficient, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about $5,000 a month? How does that? How does that feel to you?
I mean, I see what you're doing, but
I'm just asking, like your relationship with money. Like what doors open at what price range?
it would allow me to do like riskier or grander things. Like,
Yeah.
how do I say it? You don't want my shirt in my back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe
It would
give
allow
you
me
more room
to,
for you to take a risk.
yeah,
Um,
like
you can
more
get nice things.
investing.
You can,
Yeah, that's what
better computer, better internet. Um, I recently bought a new bed, a mattress. I bought a new mattress. Um, just making my room look nice. Um, uh, yeah, a lot of those things.
like it opens so many gateways, but the problem is the beginning. That's why the
Yes,
league start is so difficult.
the first step is always the most difficult. It really is. But at least we had this conversation and we explored some concerns. We thought about stuff. A lot of the shadow, we shed some light on it, right?
Oh yeah.
So maybe now you feel a little bit more confident because it's not the boogeyman in the closet anymore. At least in this area. So it's, I think, more conversations like this that builds more confidence for you to take that first step and you feel comfortable. If you ever decide to.
I think it doesn't help that like if I somehow mess something up, I could lose what my family's using to stay afloat.
Yup. Yes. That is absolutely true. And it really depends on the situation too. I know a lot of families around the world, the country, has been feeling a lot of economic stress. Yeah, I mean, freaking look at gas prices this year. Like the war in Ukraine, remember that?
Oh yeah.
You
Still
see those
going.
gas prices spike up?
No, I think that's more in regards to the Saudis with gas.
What about it?
I'm pretty sure that's why like gas has been increasing so much.
The Saudis actually don't dictate.
I remember something happening with them.
They can choose what price they sell things at, but the market is actually a self-correcting phenomena, which is insane to think about. It's the reason why gas prices aren't like $100 a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the same reason why gas prices isn't 10 cents a gallon anymore. It's the fact that there's a relationship between buyer and seller, and the buyer and seller they both affect the prices. And even if the Saudis end up raising the price, the market will drive the price back down to what it is.
It might not be what exactly happened, but I remember
Yeah.
something in regards to that.
Just they had something to deal with gas during that time. Yeah,
Either-
probably.
Either
Yeah, Russia.
gas or
Yeah, Qatar is like a insane gas country.
yeah.
For such a small country, they got hella money.
Like
So
the
much.
number 10 in the world with
Yeah, insane. Yeah, Qatar. Yeah, it's interesting. The guy, the monarch who's ruling Qatar right now, he took that power from his dad in a coup d'etat.
Oh yeah, stuff is crazy up there.
Dang. I remember like reading in history, dude, like, the Sultan would have like a lot of sons, and his sons, when they get old enough, they'll go out and like rule different parts of his land, right? And it's like a feudal system where they just report to the Sultan, but he'll have his most favorite sons be closest to the treasury, like where they keep the good stuff.
Oh yeah.
So if shit pops off, that son can go to the treasury, seize it as quickly as possible, and then to build an army from that money to be able to fend off his other brothers who's trying to steal power or kill him or whatever.
Like, stuff is crazy.
So you see how money drives a lot of the world, even back then.
Yeah.
You want to have an army? Well, you got to pay them. No one's going to give up their life for free. Unless they really love you, which is really hard to come by.
Especially
I will love you enough to die for you. That's like what your mom and dad will do.
like that's some that's like crazy levels of adoration.
Yeah.
Where the hell did I go?
Yeah, bro. So I'm hoping. I think just from talking with you, bro, I'm a pretty good sense of like, where people are at just by chatting with them. Because I getting on to voice chat with you has been a risk, right? Like it's like we could have been just people who didn't sync up, and it just happened to be, worked out for both of us. But if I'd ever made that first risk move, I wouldn't have built this relationship with you, right? Like just chatting, regularly. So there is reward. Sorry?
Sorry that I've been making you start the conversations, by the way.
I'm not worried about it. I always shoot it, and I spam people. How about that? I spam people.
Like, I don't want to make plans and then not be able to follow on them. In case something unknown happens. Like, hey, if I didn't say anything, then nothing could have happened. Though that's probably not as big of a problem with you.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that last part. I'm like looking at some comments. Let's see, default value of C# decimal. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's a 0. Default is 0.
Am I going the right way? I think it also doesn't help that I don't know anybody to base my progress off of. Like my brother works for my dad.
Yeah.
And it's a job that I can't work. And like I have cousins, but like they're doing completely other stuff and they're not reply. Like, I don't want to talk to someone and then make them like the reason I'm growing. That came out being wrong, but like I don't want to base my growth on just someone else's gains. That makes sense.
You don't want to ride somebody else's wave?
Yeah.
Hmm. And why is that? What's the issue?
I don't know. Doesn't
Pride?
feel nice. Like, hey,
You know,
I'm only getting this far because you're letting me, or something like that.
oh, it's like a pity thing.
It could be. I don't know
Could be,
myself.
could be.
It could be.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we talked about inspiration, right? We talked about just things inspire you to do things all the time. We talked about Hollywood. Freaking, what are we on? Spider-Man 7? Right? Like,
Just keeps
dude, you could have been. How many Spider-Mans do we need? But you really gotta understand, inspiration does come from everywhere. And everybody does it. Everybody takes it. Some people require more direct inspiration. Some people require very little, and they just fill in the holes. It also might deal with your own personal psychology as well. I think learning a lot of artificial intelligence has really piqued my interest in human psychology, because computers, you try to make computers do the same thing as humans, solve problems like, hey, a bunch of dirty stuff on this fruit, I need you to clean all the dirt off of it. Something that's easy for humans, it's like really difficult for computers.
Because they can't decide.
Yeah. So there's something in psychology called relationship theory. It's kind of strange if you look at it. Like, human beings, especially babies, we got like soft heads. We can't walk when we're born. Like, if you see an elk or a gazelle or something, right? Like, born in the wild, as soon as they pop out of mama, like, you better get on those hind legs and start moving, right? Because there's danger. Hyenas, lions, wolves, bears. You gotta start moving. But when it comes to like humans, like, baby doesn't start moving till like a few months. It's kind of crazy, right?
Oh yeah.
So a lot of biology builds in layers. And if you look at us, like, we're biology and we're built in layers. The stomach is really good at doing stomach things. So in the domain of stomachs, digesting food, the stomach is super intelligent, right? When you're measuring digesting food. And yeah, maybe some other stuff. But like in other areas, it's stupid. Because if you're trying to say, I'm trying to do something, like, the stomach's not good at doing everything. But the brain behaves the same way in its development. It builds in layers. And that's how artificial intelligence is also built, on layers. So the first thing when you're born into the world is your sensors need to be calibrated. That's the very least, to calibrate those things, right? So vision, taste, touch. Yeah, I have like this big spot in the back of my head because I ran into something, or I fell backwards and I hit something. A mark in the back of my head. That's like the first thing your brain does, is to figure those out, and then you'll start speaking, right? Mama, dada, or how do they say in Arabic?
Baba.
Baba? Baba, how do you say mom?
It's the same as English, really.
It's
Mama.
gender neutral?
Yeah, no, like mama. Mama. The same as in English. Or like, um, that's more like mother than mom. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on, shit. Change. Oh gosh, Sandia. I'm just never good enough for you, Sandia.
What happened?
She's just always being super anal is the word. About my code. It's always like the smallest things. Which is good, I guess. To keep me on my toes. Yeah, so your brain, first thing it does is do those things because it's the most important thing. It's like wiring everything up. But then like the second thing, when you start speaking and you start putting ideas together, mom, dad, baba, you start creating ideas and you're creating a world model of how you fit into this thing. And those how you fit into these things are, you could think of it as relationships, and this is called relationship theory. And this probably explained quite a bit in how you react to things, but this is where your relationship with things get established. You know, you and family, you and friends, you and teachers, you and homework, you and, you know, hard things, you and easy things. Your relationship with people, ideas, things, like all of that gets established there. So a lot of how we react to things come from that moment as a kid, and that doesn't really mature until, you know, you like you still got, I don't think your brain's gonna fully mature until you're like 27. Or just for males, I think it's like 25, 27. And that's the last layer that gets developed, is now you have a good idea of yourself and the relationship around you. What do you want to do this moment and in the future? The planning part. That hasn't really developed for you yet, but it's gonna get there. And we're just, I guess, getting a head start on it. That's the final layer of the brain. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm just like, there's no one to base my progress that started the same way I did. That makes sense?
Yeah. Do you find that important for you? To have something to compare yourself to?
Not really, but more like, how do I explain this? I don't know what like I should be doing.
You want to see them succeed, so you know like it's possible, or it's not that bad. You need to see them.
Or also like
move.
How do I say? Well, I was about to
you can take your time, dude. This is all, I think, new territory, so you need to really take your time. Yeah.
How do I say Uh, I
Yeah.
think it's more of a it's either like as you said, like I wanted to see that another person can do it and it's fine. Either something like that or like I
A
don't know what I
reference,
should be. Yeah, a
a
reference.
reference to kind of see how to give yourself good feedback
Yeah,
to see if you're doing good or doing bad.
yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, so that's really interesting you brought that up because that goes back to our previous thought is confidence. That confidence to know that you're doing good or bad, that is actually established when you're a kid. I actually didn't have I wasn't a very confident person as a child because my parents never did that to me. They just yelled at me, so that made like things worse. Literally worse. I didn't gain confidence until I made decisions later in life, in my 20s, that I had to stick through and see it to the end. College, uh, school, or college and school are similar. College and the military to maybe get through those things. And when I built those confidence, I didn't need the world to show me or give me information that I'm doing well. Like I myself built the confidence to do that.
Because you're the main character.
Dude, I almost cried when you fucking said that, dude. I was like,
It's
fuck, I
true.
am the main character. No.
It's
Um,
true though.
but I think as a kid, when you haven't been given a lot of um in a perfect world, I think parents are supposed to give people trials that they can overcome to build that confidence of here's a task, do it, get it done, get that good feeling, do that task again, get that done. Because over time, that builds all the pathways in your brain. Just like how this conversation is new territory, we haven't really spoken about it that much. Maybe you haven't thought about these things. But if we continue this conversation in the future, we talk about it more. You've we've had this conversation before, so you're going to be better at thinking in this way, and that's how you wire your brain to get good at these type of things. Is to kind of push through the I don't know shit phase. Just like with any game, right? You start, you don't know shit. Maybe you know how to move the controllers, but just you just got to get good at it, I guess. Like TFT, right?
Yeah.
Like the first set starting a set is like always overwhelming because you're like I don't know what these characters do, but eventually you start building the brain, your brain starts wiring itself together to address those things. But confidence is also something that's built um, during the relationship phase. You know, what's my relationship with struggling doing something? Because when I was a kid, I thought I was this brilliant kid. I think it was just like a reflex mechanism. Like I was this brilliant kid, but you know, there was a lot of things maybe I was good at. Video games being one, math, computers, whatever. Uh-oh. You oh, okay. I just heard something. I was like, that'll lose you. Um, but when it came to things I wasn't good at, things that if I did, I might do bad, that created a thing in my head where it challenged my worldview of myself. And if you know anything, your entire worldview is built around you and how you fit into this whole big picture, your relationship with everything. So that is something that is extremely hard to work past is to realize you and what you how you feel about yourself isn't the same thing. because how you feel about yourself changes over time, but you are always you. It's insane because I was always super hard on myself when I did something wrong because I thought like myself and what I did was the same thing. And so if I do something wrong, then I myself is something wrong. But in actuality, to build true confidence that I'm not wrong, I just made a mistake. I bought 100 pots of I bought 100 really shitty pots from Alibaba. Um, I bought really shitty pots from Alibaba, and we just spent $1,000. Am I an idiot? Maybe in that moment I'm an idiot, but that doesn't define me as a person forever, unless I keep buying shit from Alibaba that I don't check beforehand, right? That's a fact, dude. That's a fact. It's not free money. But yeah. Yeah, so buy small. Definitely buy small and then figure it out from there. If it's good enough, if it will sell. But it's only when you experience the struggle of doing something that you may not be good at, that you don't know shit about, that you have fear. I actually learned in the military, if I fear something, I move towards it. And that's where the growth is. Shooting guns. When I was in when I was in high school in Los Angeles, somebody went into my house and robbed us. I was in high school. Um, yeah, so I was in high school. I was 16. Somebody came in the house and robbed us with a gun, right? So they took my PlayStation 2 and they fucking took some shit, but we were all good. My mom and I think my sister was there too. Um, but yeah, they took her stuff, and then I had a fear with guns, um, growing up, and you reasonably, right? Because that was traumatic experience with a gun. Like we felt powerless, but if you look at the situation, it could have gone any better given the shitty situation. Um, Nobody was hurt. Um, but it was only until I was in the military that guns came back in my life directly. And I'm gonna share a story with you, dude. Um, a boot camp story. Y- Do you know anything about boot camp? Uh, I told you I'm like pretty traumatic when it comes to being yelled at. But in the military, it's all about being yelled at, and I think that helped me move past being yelled at as well. But yeah, the first week is like you getting yelled at, you don't know anything, and then they just shave your head, and you just march everywhere. But then once you get further into boot camp, they'll teach you about the service that you're in, Navy, Air Force, Army. You learn about the history. You learn about the customs. You learn how to dress, fold clothes. And the whole point is you may know how to do these things before, but we want you to do it our way. So no matter where you're from, you're going to do it our way. And that primed us to learn how to follow orders. But that's just the purpose of boot camp. But we one week we were supposed to go shooting, and how I feel about guns. Next thing I know, I have a 9mm in my hand. You know what I mean? And having a gun is a dangerous weapon. People can die with you having this in your hand, just like a car, I suppose. And I did okay with the gun, right? I shot, made it in the target. I felt better. because now it's a gun isn't just something that, creates traumatic experiences in my life, but it's something I can use to help protect myself, my family, and my country. That's until they gave me a shotgun and I shot that and it like almost flew out of my hand. And I'm like, okay, this is traumatic. I'm getting yelled at and there's a giant gun in my hand. Yeah. Mm. So it's when conquering those things I was afraid of, being yelled at, guns. It was until became I moved into the fear of that, and I kind of hung out there and eventually conquered those feelings. Because now you can give me a gun, I can take it apart, I can clean it, put it back together. If it's jammed, I can like unjam it. I'm pretty confident with the gun. And if somebody yells at me, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna take it for what it is and move the fuck on. And that's how you build security. That's how you've built that confidence that you do need. Um, and that makes you, ties into everything we talked about. Feeling good, the ultimate goal. Yeah. Did you catch everything I said? All right. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. Was that good? Was that good? Good thoughts. Good conversation. I won't. I'm done. Okay. Was that valuable information? If it's not, I'm completely open to it too. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then we'll be insane. Yeah. But this type of conversation is okay. Yeah. I don't think I became a man until I was like 25, 26. Um, and for each person, I think being a man is you reach that point differently. It's not like everybody turns 18, right? And you're a man. I mean, if you look at the Spartans, like those guys, had to go to war or like fight wolves or something in the forest. And the Russians had to like wrestle bears. Yeah. And you'll know when you became like a man. Like you'll know, like confident, you know, no fear in the world because your relationship with everything, you understand everything. That's that's the best, I think. I don't have to worry about my family. They're all good. My dad can just go golfing every day, chill out. My sisters, they don't have to worry about college. Um, my mom, if she gets enough money for groceries, she's happy. She loves to cook. Um, so if I can provide all of that, I'm good to go. Um, mhm. Yeah. That's something that's really good to bring up as well. Yeah. I I would imagine. I think it's safe to say that your childhood was difficult, right? And so was mine, and difficult in a different way. So Los Angeles is like there was just a bunch of Mexican gangs around, and I wasn't Mexican, so I kind of stuck out to get picked on and whatnot. But um, yeah, sometimes we have to see ourselves as more than human, just to get through the moments. And maybe that goes into how we react to ourselves, the way we do things. How and it really dehumanizes us. And I actually didn't realize this until I went to like a couple years of therapy. Um, that self-love is an important part of feeling good and being, even if the situation outside external for you is fucking shitty. Um, the world could be burning around you. And if you have this mind state, you're good. You can get through it. Um, you, in order for you to provide some of that self love, and I'm just saying the general you, not you specific. It's more closer to me. I had to learn to love